And now we can go live on. I almost had something really cool with Twitter. I pay to have two of the check mark, two of my accounts with those stupid little
now
blue
we
check
can go
marks.
live on.
I almost had something really cool with Twitter.
What the
I
shit
pay
is
to have
this?
I pay to have two of the check mark, two of my accounts with those stupid
And
little
now
blue
we
check
can go
marks.
live.
Now what's going on? Is that so? I figured out which channel on my soundboard is doing this. I just don't know what it is that's doing it. Like, what if it's WhatsApp? That's the new thing. So I figured out which channel on my soundboard is doing this. I just don't know what it. I don't know what the hell I changed that caused this to happen. It's still bouncing there. Well, we're not going to be taking the phones today. Because obviously that's. So I can go live there. The problem is, just because I have it muted on that one channel on my board, I don't want, Ken, if you're listening, let me know. He's not on that one today. Anybody listening, let me know if there's any reverb of any kind happening. I just killed the phones, which will hopefully help to alleviate that problem. But I mean, I've got such a cool show planned for today. I can't just skip it. And I can't sit here dicking around. Why is that like that, though? I'm trying to figure something out on Discord also. And I'm wondering if that's been it. Well, let me get. Haven't had to do this in a long time, but let me get some earbuds and we'll listen, at least listen on the radio and I guess some of the other platforms. Yeah, that's kind of pissing me off. It's still bouncing on that channel, which means there's still something going out. For those, let me see. If you're joining on Facebook or D Live, let me know if you're hearing me okay. You can put it in the comments. I'll see it there. Thanks for joining. Sorry about this delay, but there's been. Scotty says, "Hey, Yergs, I'm still awake." Monaco on radio or Facebook. I don't know what that means. I'm having issues with sound. Don't know what. What the hell did it even say? Oh, no echo. Why does it say no? Why does this say Monaco? I read Scotty's. I read Scotty's message on my watch, and it says no Monaco. Now I'm looking at it on my phone. It says no echo. Well, that's good. But there's still something on that frequency that I use, the channel that I use for my phones to. Well, while I'm multitasking and unfucking my system, I don't need headphones to hear myself. I know what I sound like. Today's show, LGBT Successes. Well, we have Rainbow Radio that I got to give a few shouts out to and some work on. So I figured we'd include some LGBT friendly or direct stories to share on that channel, to share on that station. Rainbow Radio. Check it out at rainbowradio.gay. Jen Powell is a Major League Baseball umpire. And yes, that's right. I said Major League. She worked her first 3 games this past weekend. First and third base in a doubleheader on Saturday and home plate on Sunday. And you're going, Yergs, is she a lesbian? I would roll the dice and say probably, but that's not the point. I don't care. Because some of the other successes, and I still got to dig up the name. I was reading it last night and I put it on my board and I didn't get the one player's name. The Minnesota Vikings have also crossed a barrier or broken a glass ceiling by crossing a gender barrier. You're telling me there's a woman playing in the NFL? No. There are men playing in the NFL. On the sidelines. 2 of them as Viking cheerleaders. And oh boy, does the right have their panties in a wad. It's okay if they flash around some pussy from underneath a skirt. But God forbid some nuts squeak out from underneath short shorts. And now we got to protect the children. Also, and this is the name that I've got to dig up, the first openly gay hockey player takes to the ice in Bakersfield, California this summer for preseason professional hockey games in the American Hockey League. Minor league hockey, just one step below the National Hockey League. He is signed with Bakersfield, which is an affiliate of the Edmonton Oilers. This coming Friday, there's an event here in Pasco County, right here in the Richies. I think it's supposedly hush-hush because nobody's talking about it. Some spies got it, and they got it out to all of us in the media. Trump lackey and convicted felon Roger Stone is going to be the guest of honor in Newport Richey, Florida, this Friday evening at around 6 p.m. We're getting better information later, and I will keep everybody posted on that so all of my neighbors can go flip him off like I know they want to. And finally, we'll take a look today at the Trump cult. Trump's DC crackdown. I told you. Shout out to Glenn Sportcat Jackson, who just sent me another independent. He's got a bunch of independent people that I follow. He wants me to start picking fights with. Like, yeah. We can look at that. We can certainly look at that. I got an overlay here that's blocking me. There we go. Yeah, we got some messy hair and bedhead going today, but I figured I'd, let it go. It looks kind of cool, except the back standing up. You can tell I got in a fight overnight with a pillow and lost. But the Trump cult, how best to deal with it, and some unpopular opinions, one of which we'll take a look at David Beckmeyer from the host of Outrage Overload and This Week in Outrage Overload Science Bites. You can hear all of those shows on the Mastiff Media Network. He wrote a recent article last week detailing an unpopular opinion and just how to deal. And I know what it is because he's been teaching me that forever. And I certainly appreciate it. David, if you're listening, I know I have some emails to reply to you with. Hang tight. It has been a busy week. We have updated RSS feeds for both sides now, and pretty caught up with Up the Middle. As you know, the radio show is a daily thing Monday through Friday for 2 hours straight, 2 hours at a pop, and nonstop. I mean, commercial breaks and whatever, but 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. Let's go through World Time, buddy, and check that out. 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern. There we go. That would be 4 p.m. in London, 8 a.m. on the West Coast, 1,700 hours in Berlin and Rome, 1,800 hours in Tel Aviv, Kyiv, and Moscow, 8 p.m. in Lahore, Pakistan, 11 p.m. Perth, Australia, midnight in Tokyo, and 1 a.m. in Melbourne, Sydney, and Brisbane. That, again, according to worldtimebuddy.com, something we absolutely recommend you use. This is, I love this site with doing international business. 2 hours straight. The podcast version of the show is not 2 hours straight. We have found podcasters want you to get to the point, like I'm trying to do. Want you to get to the point and keep it simple, more precise. So what we do there is we take each segment and break it up into break the radio show up into the individual segments. For example, we talked about 4 different things yesterday, all 4 of which were good conversations. So there are now 4 additional podcast episodes on the RSS feeds. We still need to update YouTube channels, but Spotify, Apple, all of those are up to date. Our host is Spotify, which is where I upload the video to. It uses the video on Spotify. For those of you that pay for the Spotify services, you get video feeds. If you're using Spotify for free, it automatically converts it to audio only, to an MP3. And with that, I got to try Twitter here. And with that, it creates the audio only sound. Apple, Blueberry, wherever. Okay, so the Twitter video feed sounds great. I'm going to change frequencies and take a look at Cash Patel is just weird. Where was I going with that? So that's pretty much up to date. The only editing I have to do is today's show. I got to split each segment, review each segment. Is it really good? Did it suck? Like this 22 minutes is not going to be part of it. I'm not going to waste your time with that. Come on. Okay, so Twitter Spaces, the audio is a little sucky. I wonder if there's anything there that I can do. Microphone settings. Look at this. No. Space settings. That's it there. No. There was microphone settings, but what if I untoggled that? The noise suppression. See what. All right. So next. Well, I don't know if that's better. An open letter. Let's get rid of clear the screen here and make it just me. I'm just listening to the spaces, the Twitter spaces, just to see if I want to get rid of the noise suppression, which it's just me in the house and I don't have a lot of fans running today. All right, let's bring the suppression back. Let's see what that does. I know that I've got to do better with mic technique, keeping my face at the microphone and not looking at 4 different screens all the time. Yeah, I think we'll leave the mic suppression on. Okay. So an open letter to independent journalists. I just saw, I need to actually pull this up. Well, I guess really I don't. Maybe. Let me see. God, it's going to be a bitch to find. And I actually got up early this morning and it didn't matter. Yeah, I can't find it now anyway. Oh, here it is. All right. Here is an email sent out by Ben Mysalis from the Midas Touch Network. Where he says, I'm not saying sorry for what I did today. I don't need to listen to those anymore. He says, I'm not saying sorry for what I did today. What did he do? That's Ben. I don't know if there's a web. Does he read in the app? Yeah. Okay. I'll click on this and put the link to this in show notes. This is the show I was telling you about that is now the #1 podcast on YouTube. They didn't surpass Joe Rogan in subscribers, but the interaction rate, the number of subscribers that actually take part and watch the video, is a much higher percentage than Rogan's. I guess it's kind of a downfall for when you have somebody subscribe and then they walk away and never come back and visit your channel again. That's Ben. I bust on him. He used to do this from like his living room or dining room, I think it was. And he would say, okay, play the clip. And he, point like that with his left hand, with his right hand on the mouse. And he would play the clip. But whatever. We all got to fake it till we make it. His letter, or his email, there are no apologies here. We reported on the protests in D.C., reported on the more Bernie Sanders rallies in Asheville. I made it clear that Trump was covering up a domestic terrorism attack on the CDC headquarters at Emory University. I continue to report on protests against Netanyahu. He's Jewish, by the way. Ben is. I mean, Ben Mysalis. I mean, come on, listen to that. I reported on Ghislaine Maxwell's cellmate spilling the dirt. I missed this. I reported on Ghislaine Maxwell's cellmate spilling the dirt that she says Ghislaine told her that she wanted Biden to pardon her. But Biden's DOJ never even wanted to speak with a convicted sex trafficker. Yeah, you think? I interviewed Paralympian Josh Churich, who gave Midas the exclusive announcement on his Senate campaign in Iowa. I covered the protests, Epstein, and even more. I keep getting told that I need to tone it down. Does this sound familiar? That Trump is going to sue me. That one of his goons will attack me or my family. That I will lose all my sponsors. That I will get banned from the digital platforms where I earn revenue. For the 1 millionth time, I appreciate those concerns. But I'm not saying sorry, and I'm not stopping. I'm going to triple down. Have you heard that before? Trump has sued our hosts before, and he's attacked us in criminal filings. He doesn't scare me. Have you heard that before? I want to take his deposition personally and to have it video recorded. Oh, good move. I look forward to that opportunity. I will always have the facts and truth on my side. And the death threats already happen regularly. They don't intimidate me. Yeah, I've been there. We have this Substack, which has been a blessing. I get to read your comments and hear from you. This Substack has allowed us to speak our mind. It's also allowed us to grow with 0 investors. We beat Fox in views, which has all these right-wing oligarchs giving it billions of dollars. And we do that based on the help from subscribers to this Substack. Yeah, David Beckmeyer's been getting on my shit about this, and now so is Matt Deemer, brain farting today. Matt Deemer. If we get taken down elsewhere, we have this Substack also. I make you this pledge. We will never back down to Trump, ever. Our content will only get even stronger in exposing Trump and his regime. Please subscribe to this Substack today, if you can, and if you watch our news coverage. It makes a huge difference. It's the game changer. You can get subscriptions as gifts for family and friends also. We appreciate your help subscribing now if you can. Spread the word. Spread the word. Have you heard that before? Let's move forward strong. No apologies here. And then you can upgrade to a paid or give the subscription as a gift. All right, I'm reading that today because I commented on his post, and I'm going to take this segment of today's episode, with a puppy licking my legs and wanting to play. Come here, baby. Come say hi to everybody. You're going to be camera shy now? You've interrupted my show? Come here. No, now you're going on camera. You're going on camera. You're going to say hello. Be polite. Oh, my goodness, you're a big girl. World, this is Shady, the namesake for Shady News Radio, our newest channel on the internet, named after this beautiful little girl. Go play with your brother. The Matrix, on the other hand, is named after the big dog who's sleeping behind me. All right, my open letter to Ben and every other independent journalist. I have been saying for more than a year that we are at war. I have been identifying this regime, as Ben also uses, as such. That, of course, being the Trump administration and the cowards in both the Congress and the Supreme Court who support him blindly. Mike Johnson, Mitch McConnell, John Roberts, are you hearing me? Uncle Clarence Thomas, are you hearing me? My website, where you can get this show, mastiff.media, is not hosted in the United States. My radio stations, all 6 of them, are not hosted in the United States. In fact, I don't know where they're hosted. There's a middleman between me and those servers. You can interrogate me all you want. I don't know. And I'm not even sure that the middleman is that person's real name. Other services that we have are in Australia, the UK, and really all over. If it gets too hot for me, I can skip town. I can be a ghost tomorrow. Now, why is that relevant? Because on my phone, in the notepad section, I have a list of all the things I've said where I've been called crazy, ridiculous. One former co-host of our Friday show said that I call everyone that I disagree with a fascist or a Nazi. And like every other time I've proved him wrong, he sat there with his teeth in his mouth and didn't know what to say. But on that list are all the claims that I've made. all the trends that I've set. And all but one has either come true or been absorbed by the general public. That, unfortunately, was the 2024 election. My open letter to independent journalists like me, broadcasters, content creators, whatever we or somebody else wants to call ourselves, is to join me. We don't have to collaborate. We don't have to do shows together. I know you all have more followers than I do. But someday you're going to have to put together a plan like Ben has, like Brian Tyler Cohen has, like David Pakman has, like even Ben Shapiro on the right has alluded to doing. You're going to have a method by which you can contact and broadcast to your fan base on the daily. Because people like Tim Cook will give Dear Leader a gold iPhone and sell you out. There needs to be preparation for the day when we're no longer on YouTube, Facebook, Telegram. I'm already off of LinkedIn. I'm already off of TikTok. That was short-lived. TikTok. 5,000 plus connections. No longer on LinkedIn. She's actually got to go out. We got to take a break. I got to do a puppy potty break. When we come back, the rest of this open letter. Be right back, gang. All right. We need to plan and prepare for the day that these platforms take us down. We need to be ready for the opportunity to continue fighting the Second American Civil War and being on these front lines. No, they're not trenches at Bull Run. They're not rocky mountainsides at the Little Round Top in Gettysburg or Devil's Den. They are social media platforms. They are fiber optic cables on the internet and airwaves through satellite radio, internet radio, terrestrial radio, shortwave radio, wherever we need to be to get this message out. Donald Trump is turning this war into a physical one. He's taken over Los Angeles with incredibly failed results. Members of the military not renewing their commission, sleeping on top of each other with no food. If you want to bitch about Pride Month, and now I'm no longer talking to the content creators, but, well, actually some of them. I'm talking to everybody who wants to bitch about Gay Pride Month in June, but are too ignorant to know that there's Military Pride Month in May. If you want to celebrate that month and you're not pissed off about how Trump treats our military or how he uses our military, or with allies like Ukraine, fails to use our military, or with the need for humanity in Gaza or the West Bank, fails to use our military, or in Syria. The world was a better place when we were its police department. That's what made America first. For us to continue to do that, we need to take a look at the Bill of Rights. Not only the article that Sportcat sent me moments before going live today, where Trump is planning on coming after your guns. It's going to happen. The MAGA Republicans are spineless to him. And like every other bill they create, I'm sure they will grandfather themselves out of it. Trump is coming after your guns, not the Democrats. Democrats at least have some sort of a spine, especially when 1 in 5 of them carries one. Not a spine, a gun. Now, under normal Republican circumstances, pretty much every Republican is going to support the Second Amendment and shoot down, if you pardon the expression, any gun legislation, anti-gun legislation. To get that passed, you would need a lot of those Republicans and all of the Democrats. 1 in 5 carries a gun. Carries a gun. Go back 2 years and watch the episode that I did, if you want the citation for it. So how many of those Democrats do you think might not carry a gun but are pro-Second Amendment? While I have said many times, we, myself included, as 2A people, do a horrible job policing ourselves. It will not be the Democrats coming after your guns, no matter how far left AOC or anybody else wants to go. That being said, I also care deeply about the First Amendment and all 5 elements of it. You didn't know it was that big, did you? I know people like Ben Meiselas, Brian Tyler Cohen, and David Pakman do. Certainly, I would think Ben Shapiro does as well. There's 2 elements that go together, 2 other elements that go together, and together those 2 pairs make the 5th element. If you want to pull together a Bruce Willis movie title. 2 of them are the right to gather peacefully and the right to practice religion as you choose, freedom of religion. Why is that relevant? Well, Most people gather in a mosque, a church. What's the Jewish one? I'm brain farting. A temple. And what are they doing? Practicing their religion and gathering peacefully. The second two are the rights, the freedom of speech and freedom of the press. What are they going to do when they gather peacefully? They're going to talk. They're going to take notes, and they're going to publish those notes. See how it fits? That together brings the fifth element of the First Amendment, and that is the right, and I'll even say the obligation, to redress grievances against the United States government, of which, right now, there are plenty. There are 8 more amendments to the Bill of Rights that Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, apparently, know nothing about. In a few of them is the concept of due process, something that has been ignored to immigrants, both illegal and otherwise, and even some of which are American citizens, have been unlawfully arrested, like the young man down in South Florida who videotaped his arrest by the Florida Highway Patrol, DHS, and ICE agents. They dropped charges of whatever it was they tried to concoct against him. Or like the father from Maryland who was kidnapped and trafficked to another country after wrongfully being accused of being a member of a gang, which, bad as it sounds, is actually not against the law. So my open letter to you, my offer to any independent journalist located anywhere on the political spectrum, is to join me. Like I said earlier, you don't have to collab. You don't have to co-host or be a guest. All I suggest you do is go to mastiff.media/rabbit hole. Take the red pill and join the Matrix. This is a directory of radio stations, and with my partners, I'm going to propose that we open it to podcasts, YouTube channels, any other sort of media that would like to post on our directory and make their information available to the public on secure servers at an undisclosed location, out of reach of the modern day Gestapo. For your consideration. I got to take a break. I think I've got a puppy tired out, so I got to shut a back door because it's 90 degrees already here in Florida. When we come back, we're going to talk about some LGBT successes that happened over the past week. This is Up the Middle on the Mastiff Media Network. We'll be back after this. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching. Dunk tanks. Sauna. Everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body.
You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum at Momentum Fitness and Wellness.
All right. Seamless communications. Might not be a good time to do a phone commercial with my phone's down today, but it's not their fault. It's definitely something here on my board. I have an idea. It's going to be playing and rearranging my whole schedule. I wanted to get out on the jet ski today finally. Not going to happen. Seamless communications, however, at least on their end, makes your communications seamless. Scan the QR code on your screen. I don't know if I have a tone tip for that. Get your tone tip app ready. Because if I do, I'll certainly send you the information to you that way. Let's look down the list here. There it is. Yeah, here it comes. I barely heard that. Oh, this is getting so much better. Put in the comments if you got that tone tip. It would be for seamless communications, phone services, team meeting, video conferencing, text messaging, toll-free numbers. Usually, you can call me on 1-888-88-YERGS or 844-GAY-LGBT. I got to do some tests later on today to unfuck my system. But for you, aside from presuming your computer isn't screwed up, your communications will be seamless. Go to seamlesscommunications.com. That's seamless-communications.com and check them out today. All right. Let's see what's going on in the comments. Ken's there as always, saying good morning. Hopefully everybody got the seamless communications. I wasn't able to, I don't know what the hell I was doing last night. Something happened, got me off my schedule. Although I'm happy that I got this because it's actually been helping. I'm getting to bed at a decent time. See that whiteboard there, that's shady in the background. Yes, I still live in a construction site. That's going to be like that probably for another year. Before I go to bed, I put my schedule on there for the day, shit that I got to do. And the computer shuts off at 10. We walk the dogs, and I'm in bed, by 11. Whatever it was got me tied up. I didn't get to like 12:30, but still. So, yeah. Things are looking up. But where did I send to myself? Where is that? This is something else we're going to talk about later too. Not today, but Brian Tyler Cohen put this out and Daryl McCullough shared it. Gay marriage is going before the Supreme Court again. The affiant or bitch is a woman who is on her fourth marriage. And it's Brian Tyler Cohen saying this, so I'm going to presume this is pretty accurate. On her fourth marriage, after 3 divorces, is petitioning the Supreme Court to overturn same-sex marriage to protect the sanctity of marriage. Gang, I've been saying this. I have been saying that the rights candidate for family values is a guy who's on his third marriage, has had kids with multiple women, and has cheated on all of them. How is this even close to family values? Like I've asked before, what the fuck family do you live in that this is okay? So that's one of the... I take notes like this and I just Facebook message it to myself because that's available on my phone and on my desktop. Here is the one story. So I mentioned Jen Powell, P-A-W-O-L. I thought it was paywall. It's Powell. She looks a little butch. And so I would probably successfully win a bet that perhaps she's a lesbian. Not that it matters. I don't care. I don't care that, yay, there's a gay in Major League Baseball. I already knew there were gays in Major League Baseball. Plenty of them, actually. But more importantly, we broke another barrier, and that is we have our first lady umpire, lady anything, on the field in Major League Baseball. Possibly with the exception maybe of one of the ballparks used a female officer with the police department that provides security between innings from people running on the field. And also grounds crew. But since I was a kid, the ball girls that sit down the right and left field lines to retrieve foul balls. So we've had women in Major League Baseball, but clearly not yet in the role of a player and not yet in the role of a major league umpire. We've had women umpires in pro baseball for 30 years. Pam Postema was one of the first that I remember back in the 80s. But this past weekend, Jen Powell racked up her first 3 major league games. I think in Atlanta. There was a doubleheader this weekend, whatever series she was working. There was a doubleheader on Saturday. And instead of the normal clockwise rotation, they give the plate umpires off. So in other words, game 1's plate umpire is off for game 2. Game 2's plate umpire is off for game 1. The other 3 rotate from first to third to second to first. Well, if you're counting, that means there's 5 umpires that are going to be a part of that crew for the doubleheader. That 5th umpire was Jen. On Saturday, she went from second. No, excuse me. She went from first in game 1 to third in game 2. On Sunday, she worked home plate. To a standing ovation, press attention, press conference, press avails. I think the one of them was with her crew chief in between the games on Saturday. A huge accomplishment. And for the attention necessary and deserving that Major League Baseball and Jen removed a barrier and broke that glass ceiling. She did it because she belonged there. She was also a crew chief in AAA, worked championship games and other important contests throughout her minor league career, and definitely broke a barrier that's been in place for all of baseball history. Does she look kind of butch, and do I think she's a lesbian? Yeah, sure. Do I care? Fuck no. The reason why I'm bringing her up is because, like I said in the intro, another barrier was broken this past weekend when the Minnesota Vikings of the National Football League took to the field to have a preseason game in Minneapolis. I think it's like Dallas. I don't think it's actually in Minneapolis, but whatever. In Minnesota are now Louis Kahn and Blaze Chic. Holy shit. Is that a porn name or what? They made their debut this past Saturday in Minneapolis as they've joined the ranks of male NFL cheerleaders. And of course, like I said, somebody from the right has their panties in a wad. Let me read this by Jim Basinski of Outsports.com. As always, link in the show notes. I wanted to get I'd love to be able to send this to you now, but unfortunately, last night got too late. The Minnesota Vikings have joined the list of NFL teams enjoying and employing male cheerleaders, with dancers Blaze Chic and Louis Kahn making their debut Saturday in the Vikings preseason home opener. It was much too much to bear for a host on the right-wing InfoWars site. That's that Alex guy, Alex Jones. But apparently it was Owen Schroyer. Quote, imagine you buy front row season football tickets, and when you sit down, there's a man gyrating, like pirating, gyrating. He misspelled it. Gyrating right in front of you. Owen Schroyer posted on Twitter, misspelling gyrating in the process. You know what? Let me see if I can enlarge this so you can see it. It was on the screen. Those looking at it. That's those two cuties. There we go. Gyrating. He spelled it G-I. Owen Schroyer. Here's the video. Let's see him. Let's see him. What did I call it? Gyrate. Let's watch him gyrate. Okay, he's better than I will ever be. Let him be a cheerleader, for God's sake. Did you see the backflip? He did that flat-footed. I can't get that high, let alone flip backwards. Someone set Schroyer to the fainting couch. Men are dancing. His reaction reminds me of the famous Onion headline. I saw this episode, or this edition of The Onion. For those of you who don't know, The Onion is a newspaper that gets printed and it gets distributed on street corners.
in predominantly, I would say, artistic neighborhoods that get the joke. Right alongside of the gay newspaper and the community newspaper and whatever else. So it's right out there with the big boys. Onion headline: Why do all these homosexuals keep sucking my cock? It took Twitter user Gator Gum to smack down Schroyer, who has 371,000 Twitter followers and does a real piece of work, with the appropriate comment. Yes, he's blocking your view of the husky man in tights, putting his hands between the legs of another man in tights. Do you know they showered together after the games too? Yeah, I've been in an NFL locker room, actually. Seattle Seahawks are some beautiful boys. Let's see. And there was this gem of a reply. Oh, there was more? Did Owen take the time to do more? Oh, no. Yeah. Harrison Crank said it wouldn't be the first time a man has gyrated, misspelled again, his hips at a football game. I think is that a Chicago Bear? Yeah. That's, where are we going now? To Twitter. That's it. Oh, there's on a, what's it called? A boomerang when it comes back to you and goes again. There it is. 58. Is that 58? That's not Perry. He's too lean to be Refrigerator Perry. But anyway. So similarly, oh, look at this. Sid Ziegler did a story. Meet the 18 male NFL cheerleaders on 7 different teams. Look at this. I didn't know this. I knew there were others already. I didn't know that there were this many. 18 so far. November 11th of last year in Inglewood, California, Los Angeles Rams male and female cheerleaders performed during the game against Miami Dolphins in SoFi Stadium. There was a time when only women were allowed to be cheerleaders in the NFL. That time has come and gone. There are now many men who dance on the sidelines for NFL teams, with almost a third of the league boasting male cheerleaders, and the Los Angeles Rams have at least 7 men in their cheer squad, with the Philadelphia Eagles and others. Philadelphia, probably the most butch city on the globe, has male cheerleaders. Some of them are gay or bi, of course, but not all of them. Well, we at Outsports have elevated the profiles of various gay, bi, it says bit, I think it should be bi, and trans NFL cheerleaders. Trans. There's trans NFL cheerleaders. Here we're sharing various male NFL cheerleaders regardless of their orientation. Where is it? Oh, there we go. Jonathan Romero is the first and only male cheerleader for the San Francisco, the gayest city in the world, only has 1. That's pathetic. Come on. Somebody just farted. It wasn't me for once. Tyrese from the Carolina Panthers. Brian Y. from the Los Angeles Rams. Eswin D. Also from the Rams. Jan S. of the Rams. Jose C.
of the Rams. He's even got like a pigmentation thing going on. Usually you got to be like perfect. Good for them. Matrix, you okay? I think Matrix is going to get sick. Jose F. You got to visit Instagram to see this one. It might be sexy. Nope, not available. Maybe he's not there. Maybe he's not back. Nikki G is shirtless and looking good. Where's he with? That's a photo in Cabo San Lucas, but doesn't say what team he's with. Parker B. Philadelphia Eagles. There's James. San Francisco 49ers. There's John. Looking queenie as ever. Good man. Seattle Seahawks. Jaden. Johnny from the Seattle Seahawks. Wow. Johnny's a little beefy. I'm not going to lie. Got some stubby hands, too. He must have some moves. Goodness. Victor from the Seahawks. Tampa Bay. I seen this guy, Dante. I took my son to a game, one of the home openers. Yeah, I've seen this guy. Dante and Jesse. He's cute. Randolph in a Speedo, rocking a Speedo. Nicely done, Randolph. I hate these group shots like that. You can't see anybody. I don't even know who's who in that one. But anyway, bunch of hot boys there. New England Patriots, Driss, D-R-I-S-S. Also looking kind of beefy. Stephen S. in New England. And that's all of them. There you go. So look at us becoming a modern country. And what is the second half of today's show, which we're already in, but second half of today's show, going to be talking about how much we're falling back. Let's do one more LGBT story, just to prove a point. Here's 11 NFL players, again, courtesy of Outsports.com, or I guess thanks to Outsports.com. 11 NFL players have expressed powerful support for the gay community. Dozens of current and former NFL players have shared their support for gay rights over the years. This is just a sampling of them from July 21st of this past year, last month, again by Sid Ziegler. It's Arizona Cardinals tight end Trey McBride. Michael Strahan, Michael Irvin, Julian Edelman from the New England Patriots, Irvin from the Super Bowl champion Dallas Cowboys, and Strahan, a legend and now talk show host and game show host from the New York Giants. Chris Cluey from the Vikings. Oh, I always sucked with this name. Brendan Ayanbadeo, I think. Sorry, Brendan. From the Baltimore Ravens. Yeah, this one's interesting. Along with Cluey, a force to be reckoned with as a pro athlete debated marriage equality over a decade ago. The Super Bowl champion with the Baltimore Ravens talked openly in the media about his support for gay rights, also opening up about his disagreement with Ravens teammate Matt Burke, who opposed same-sex marriage. Trey McBride from the Cardinals, Derek Carr from the Las Vegas Raiders. Saquon Barkley. When Carl Nassib came out as publicly gay, a handful of NFL players shared their support for him, unprompted. Saquon Barkley was one of those players, despite playing for another team. I think he's with Philadelphia now. I think he's with Philly. There it is. Good for him. Maurice Hurst, Rob Gronkowski. I mean, of course, the way he's always playing around with Tom Brady, you got to kind of suspect he's at least an ally. Rob Gronkowski has shared his support of the gay community and being chill in general on multiple occasions, starting with the brief interview Outsports held with the tight end at the 2012 ESPYs. As a straight guy, it's also been cool to see him talk openly about checking out other dudes in the shower. Got to know what the competition's got, including Tom Brady. DeAndre Hopkins has been open about his support for his gay sister. The three-time first-team All-Pro has played for 5 NFL teams: Houston, Texas, Arizona Cardinals, Tennessee Titans, Kansas City Chiefs, and now this season with the Baltimore Ravens. And that's it. I want to email Sid Ziegler. And of course, what would Outsports be without judging wide receivers for how hot they are? That's how I pick my fantasy football league. Would I do them? It doesn't matter if they would return the favor. Most of them are probably straight and or otherwise, for many reasons, not interested. I got to take a break. When we come back, what information I can share about this Friday's outing down in the Richies, southern Pasco County, featuring Roger Stone. Yeah, that guy. This is Up the Middle on the Mastiff Media Network. This might take a little while because I'm also going to get my coffee. But we will be back after these words. Hey gang, it's Yergs, host of Up the Middle. With my university degrees in history and political science and 21 years as a special agent in the U.S. Secret Service, I've lived what others can only talk about. Join me, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, Monday through Friday, on Yergs Radio, Rainbow Radio, and Right Talk Radio. Up the Middle. Politics for the rest of us. What are you doing later? I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm going to the gym, but not just any gym. Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Walk right up to the door. There's a QR code on the door. You can sign up right there. You've got no excuse. But not only that, their equipment is amazing. It's kept up well. It's expanded. There's stretching area. There's CrossFit. There's hardcore training. A dedicated area for stretching. Dunk tanks. Sauna. Everything you need to get that Hernando beach body or keep your Clearwater beach body. You can train with your shirt off, you can scream, you can yell, and you won't be intimidated either. Go to Momentum Fitness and Wellness on US 19 in Bayonet Point, Jasmine Estates. Build the momentum at Momentum Fitness and Wellness. Daily crypto news. Daily, hence the name. Taught me plenty about cryptos, the blockchain, investing, you name it. Daily crypto news, available at their website, dailycryptonews.net, or wherever you get your podcasts, but also available right here on the Mastiff Media Network, part of Mastiff Media Magazine, our new show that we're kind of getting back together. Also going to be on regularly on Shady News Radio and throughout the entire network. Go to dailycryptonews.net. Check out our very own Matt Deemer from Friday Fights. Oh, there's that clicking again that's in the... It's like this one channel does it. Watch this. Gone. Why would you put that in? That sounds like shit. Try lounge music. Ornish. Like it. Daily Crypto News. Available at dailycryptonews.net or wherever you get your podcasts or whenever you listen to the Mastiff Media Network. Oh, Matrix. And there's one Matrix you don't want to be in right now. Wow. Oh, that's dangerous. I've got to find another email. I would have had all this ready before the show. I can't share this one on the screen, actually, because of where it's coming from. But I can give you some of the information about it. So this Friday, remember, it's all I can share. Oh, I mean, I give you location. But this Friday, there's going to be a dinner at the Spartan Manor in Newport Richey for the Republican Party of Pasco County. And of course, our own absentee Congressman, Gus Bilirakis, who goes to events like this, but not to town halls, unless, of course, he's rigged it to be people filled with people that he knows, also known as donors. The Republican Party is going to be hosting this dinner celebrating Roger Stone. Oh. I mean, just look at how this guy dresses. You know he's a villain. Political operative, widely condemned for working with repressive regimes, associating with violent extremists, undermining elections, and using smear tactics that have damaged democratic institutions for personal and political gain. Many people have long questioned the values of the Republican Party of Pasco County, and especially Bilirakis. Their public embrace of Stone and his record speaks volumes. So be prepared to demonstrate at this event. And I'm not going to tell you the demonstration that I know about. Know that this event is often inhabited by far-right, what I now call ICE agents, formerly known as Proud Boys, Oath Keepers, etc. Can't share that, can't share that, can't share that. Yeah. That's really all I can share from this email. Let me see if we can get a. I don't need Saquon Barkley's. I know he's with the Eagles now. I type in Roger Stone and there's all this shit but him. See if there's some images. That's all I'm really looking for. There we go. Oh my God. Like, how do you trust this person looking like this? Unless you're a villain too. That guy. I loved his deposition that he had to give, where he pretty much just sat there and motherfucked the attorney deposing him. Look, this one tells it all, don't you think? There's a picture of him, Nixon, and Trump. There you go. Tell me that is not a Batman villain. Like, who is the poor woman that crawls in bed with this at night? Like the Penguin and the Riddler had a baby. Oh, he's got his freedom beads on, though. You see that? At least he's trying to be trendy. With his mobster suit and his Riddler hat. There you go. I told you. Penguin. Who dresses like this? Who dresses like this and thinks they're cool? And what'd I say? Nixon? There you go. Oh, wow. These were the nerdy kids in school. You know that, right? Roger Stone. Somebody else had this thought. Look at this. Roger Stone, young. Booyah. There you go. Oh, wow. Chronic campaigner, the Stone Machine, yellow VW. The state is me. That's French. L'état is the state. Is me. C'est moi. Yeah, you think a little highly of yourself. Future plans, President of the USA. Or the current dictator's bitch. Nixon's the one. Oh my God. He was pathetic even back then. There you go. That is what your Republican Party is celebrating this Friday night in Newport Richey. Spartan Manor, Newport Richie. Probably about 6 or 7, judging on some of the intel that I have. So there you go. Yay. Let's have a dinner for that nerd. Oh my God. What has happened with the Republican Party? I mean, and I'm not just talking about the hair or the suit, but think about what this guy really stands for and how much he's tried to undermine legitimate elections while turning around and supporting illegitimate ones. And I'm talking about specifically 2020 and 2024, respectively. Yeah, that's another one that's going to come out soon. That 2024 was the stolen election, not 2020. But don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. Don't believe me. What do I say? Let my information be your starting point. And do your own homework. If you still support that guy after doing your own homework, I can't help you. Supervan Ken wants to know if I need an extra whiteboard. Sure. I mean, with the way I'm organizing and planning, I could probably always, the 3 that I've got are taken. One is the divided into 6 sections where I put the different topics for the show every day. There's the intro, topics 1 and 2. Then the second hour is 3 and 4. And then the conclusion, stuff that I have in the 6th block. And then there's the one that I showed you earlier that is my daily schedule. And there's a small one that's like a brain puke, to-do list. I got to call this person. I got to do this task. I got to do that, whatever. There's a 4th smaller one on my refrigerator. That's for groceries. Anytime I run out of something, I write it down on there. And I'm supposed to take a picture of it or put it down onto the notepad that's groceries on my phone. That didn't happen last night, and I brought home half the things I wanted to. Whatever. We'll figure it out. But yeah, if you got one you want to get rid of, don't throw it out. I can always use it. There's a bunch of different specific videos. Like there's one, I just got another microphone just like this one earlier this week. I did an unboxing video of that. I did a test on it and so on. I did one for the 2 wireless mics that go to my camera. I did one for the ties that are on the foil bag from Dunkin' Coffee, and how I use them as wire ties in the studio, or what right now is my studio. So kind of like for the how-to podcast section and radio section. Nothing political there, but we're also starting a documentary on internet radio and what it's like to stream, and is radio just radio anymore, with even as far back as Don Imus simulcasting to both radio and television. Howard Stern being all over the place, and so many others now doing the same thing. I say that I have a radio show, pretty much because that's the type of microphone that's in front of my face. But we're all over the place, as we should be, especially with a regime like this. We need to be. I learned early that it's my job to go to the audience. When I was only on YouTube, I was following a top-notch, and he knows his stuff. I'm not saying that he's bullshit just because I disagree with him on this one topic. But there's a guy named Sean Cannell, who is the owner of a company called Think Media. Sean is the guy who literally wrote the book on YouTube.
And I say literally because he wrote a book on how to succeed on YouTube based on his own research. No help from YouTube whatsoever, at least not in his first one. Well, YouTube gets a hold of it, reads it, and goes, wow, this is pretty damn good. Hey, Sean, why don't you come with us? And now they work together on how to coach younger, newer, smaller creators like me, and possibly you, on how to do well on YouTube. One of the things he taught, and I think kind of sort of for obvious reasons, is to use your social media to direct your audience to your YouTube channel. And that's fine. If that's all you want to be is on YouTube, then it's an absolute must of a practice is to direct them to your YouTube channel. At that time, I was doing a show and a channel called The Doggy Traders about day trading and cryptos and other things. And I said, well, what if my audience isn't on YouTube? Day trading is kind of a business-related thing. I think I told this story before, but real quick. Day trading is kind of a business kind of thing. What if they're on LinkedIn? And I think from my profile, I had enough followers, connections, I guess it's called there, to stream to LinkedIn. I built a LinkedIn page for the Doggy Traders, 3 times the size of the respective YouTube channel in a third of the time. So let's say in 3 months, I developed 100 followers on my YouTube channel. In 1 month, I had 300 followers on my LinkedIn page for the Doggy Traders. And that's because that's where they were. I promoted each one equally, intentionally, to see how that would go. So, enter Donald Trump 2.0. I tell someone the truth about Donald Trump. That was about 9 months ago, and I haven't had access to my entire profile on LinkedIn ever since. So every chance I get, I tell the world, LinkedIn is already, way before Apple made it cool, LinkedIn has been Trump's bitch. So it's going to happen. Like I said in the open letter, it's going to happen. I will most likely lose more profiles to this regime. That's why I have my own platform. And I certainly invite all of you to be a part of it too. Go to mastiff.media/rabbit hole and join the Matrix. All right, up next, the Trump cult. I think that was an email too. I got to find that. It was last night, so. What sucks is I don't remember who sent it. It was a woman, I think. Pretty powerful email by Ben Mysalis from earlier. Oh, come on. Where was that? Who was that? Let's see if I can find it in my. There's plenty of times when I can't find an email in my Microsoft Outlook. and I'll find it right away on my iPhone. But I got to scroll through it to do it because I don't know what to search. I don't know who sent it. And I don't think I sent it to myself or anything that I could have done to send it to myself. No. You know what? I forgot to talk about the guy from the American Hockey League. I'll do that quick too. And then maybe we'll save the Trump thing for tomorrow. Because I only got like 15 minutes left. Aaron Parnas is doing a lot of good stuff like that too. And with Trump and this was somebody did a story on, and I thought it was an email because oh shit. You know what? I'm just going to do this tomorrow. Because I'm going to do that now. Yeah, because I want to find this. I also get those stupid ass things from fakes from Geek Squad. They're not from Geek Squad. Damn it. I gotta, I'm gonna talk to you about the AHL guy. And I'll find this and better prepare it. Whew. Yeah, I got. I need a producer. All right, let's talk about this AHL guy. Or this just in from Sportcat. Oh, there's this male straight porn star that lives in my area who's beautiful. I dress like a chick for him. God damn. Sportcat, you better hurry. I feel this working. Those are not Secret Service agents. Those are pallbearers. Tristan Langston. Got it. That's the Carter detail. Okay. Tristan Langston in the photo here. Let me bring this up. This according to Sportcat or from Sportcat. This is from lawandcrime.com. A Texas man hurled death threats at 2 Secret Service agents and their families, saying he would slit their throats after he became angry with them for investigating an alleged statement he made about assassinating Barack Obama. Second Amendment in full effect, wrote Tristan Langston, 37, in a February 2025 post to Twitter. The Lubbock man was convicted last Thursday of transmitting threats in interstate commerce. See, the internet goes more than just your neighborhood. You know that, right? Convicted last Thursday of transmitting threats in interstate commerce and threatening a federal law enforcement officer after being arrested and charged in March, according to the Department of Justice. Court transcripts and documents filed by federal prosecutors outline how Langston allegedly threatened former President Obama on social media in June 2023, leading to a probe of his comment by 2 Secret Service agents. I'm going to kill former President Barack Obama and any security element of his, Langston allegedly said. Langston was ultimately not charged with threatening to kill Obama after it was determined that he did not pose a threat to the former president or a security detail. But that didn't stop Langston from retaliating on social media. According to evidence presented during trial on February 21st, 2025, Langston posted a message to Twitter criticizing two U.S. Secret Service agents and then declaring, quote, Second Amendment in full effect. Gonna slit the throats of agents and their families. The DOJ said this Monday in a press release. Evidence in the case revealed that Langston's statements went well beyond mere political rhetoric or bluster and constituted true threats directed at specific federal agents. Throughout his trial, jurors heard evidence that Langston, who identified himself on Twitter under the username 17, became angry with two specific Secret Service agents after they investigated the alleged Obama threat. After targeting one of the agents and his family in his online posts, Langston memorialized the anger and resentment he harbored against the agents in videos and notes he maintained on his cell phone over a period of years. Per the DOJ court testimony, showed that Langston knew the agents would perceive his threat as retaliation for their investigation. But he went through with it anyway, according to prosecutors. Under his username 17, Langston referenced his encounter with Secret Service in June 2023 and claimed that Secret Service agents threatened to kill him. This according to the federal complaint. Langston also harbored hate for the agency for what he described as covering up attacks against America in the homeland and overseas. In addition to threats, Langston was also known to post conspiracy theories online about the government allegedly covering up terror events, like the one at the CDC. I wonder if he talks about that. He attempted to contact the Secret Service about the conspiracies, but said on Twitter that he was blown off by them. Yeah, that's because we had nothing to do with that. That's not what we investigate. We commend the jury's decision in finding Tristan Langston guilty of threatening to kill U.S. Secret Service agents and their families, said Christina Foley, Deputy Special Agent in charge of the U.S. Secret Service. Oh, I know her. She's a DSAC. Very cool. Good for you. Christina's cool. I liked her. Deputy Special Agent in charge, that should be capitalized. That is a proper title. Of the U.S. Secret Service Dallas Field Office in a statement Monday. Targeting federal agents and their families with threats of violence is not protected speech. It is a federal crime, said Acting U.S. Attorney Nancy E. Larson. The verdict reaffirms our office's commitment to take all threats seriously and to hold accountable those who try to intimidate or terrorize our law enforcement partners. Langston, who faces a maximum of 15 years in federal prison, is scheduled to be sentenced on November 6th. Good. I don't get this comment. A Texas man hurled death threats at Tuesday, part of the article, and Skinner City cyclist says this guy knows how to get out of an awkward situation. What? He's pretty fucked the way it looks. MAGA values on full display. Yeah, that's them. All right, let's go back. Where's my Facebook? Let's go here. That was the porn star. Look at that. That's the game I was telling you about when we saw the male cheerleaders. He has slimmed down so much. That's my son. That's Zach. And he cut his hair too. That's Glenn's. I have that one already. I need to pull up mine. Speaking of which, where is he? He's usually clicked in by now. Here we go. Gay pro hockey player Luke Prokop joins new AHL team in fresh new NHL system. This by Sid Ziegler again. Luke Prokop has signed a deal to play with the Bakersfield Condors, an American Hockey League team affiliated with the Edmonton Oilers of the National Hockey League. What? No. The NBA has as a trans? No shit. Gay pro boxer prepares for big fight with strong message to other LGBTQ athletes. Luke Prokop has a new team. The pro hockey player, who has already broken so many barriers for gay athletes, has signed with the Bakersfield Condors, an AHL affiliate of the Edmonton Oilers of the National Hockey League. The American Hockey League is the pro hockey level just below the NHL, and AHL teams feed players to NHL affiliates. Prokop has been in the NHL for a bit more than a season. Excited for the new opportunity in Bakersfield, Prokop wrote on Twitter. Here he is with, I see one team that I recognize. As soon as his photo comes up. I don't know why there's a skull pirate with the Condors hockey. That must be Milwaukee or something, because there's a Milwaukee Brewers patch on a hockey jersey. Not sure how that works. But that Matt Brown is the Philadelphia Phantoms. Actually, I think they're Lehigh Valley now. I think they're up in Allentown. They're not in Philly anymore. I guess this means these are players that have gone to this expansion team. So yeah, the news got many reactions on social media. Nashville Predators writer Jack Williams was disappointed, as he was hoping to see Prokop in training camp with the Predators. Preds is short for Predators, the Nashville NHL team. Kind of bummed about this, was hoping that Luke Prokop was going to be at training camp, but he's got a better opportunity in Bakersfield/Edmonton. Thank you for everything you're doing for the LGBTQ plus community in this game. That's a cool thing to write. Noah, a fan of the Oilers and Condors, was ecstatic about the news. Oh my God, we have Luke Prokop. This is amazing. That's to a deal that says Condor signed 4 players to the NHL. That's the article I just showed you. Another devout Oilers and Condors fan also shared their excitement. Parker, Luke Prokop is a Bakersfield Condor. Life is so incredible. And that's the 4 again that got signed. In fact, the overall sentiment was incredibly positive. All is well. As well it should be. An Edmonton Oilers writer for Fansided saw the move by the team's affiliate as a positive one. Prokop has seen positive movements the past 2 years, playing all 31 games with the Admirals this year after mainly sticking with the Gladiators in the East Coast Hockey League. That's a step down. That was from Gordon Monroe, who writes for Oil on White. Luke Prokop was drafted by the Nashville Predators in the 3rd round of the 2020 NHL draft. Oh, my God. I'm looking at these kids playing in the NHL now going, oh, yeah, I'd hook up with that dude. They're young enough to be my kids. He played for several lower-level teams during his playing career, winning a couple of team titles. This past season, he was with the Milwaukee Admirals. There you go. Of the AHL. With the Admirals, Prokop played 40 AHL games over 2 seasons, scoring 6 points, 1 goal, and 5 assists. Prokop came out publicly about a year after being drafted in July 2021. He is still the only men's professional hockey player in North America to come out publicly as gay while playing. That again by Sid Ziegler of Outsports Magazine. I hear somebody knocking. Let's bring him out.
In here.
How's your sound going today?
Do what?
I had to shut my phones off because there was something I did with either WhatsApp or the phone lines or whatever was causing a reverb. I was feeding something somewhere that it shouldn't go.
Were you live on WhatsApp?
Oh yeah, I had to. I wasn't. Well, I was trying not to broadcast to WhatsApp except for if I was taking a phone call. But apparently, one of them. I don't know that it's WhatsApp, but
Well, WhatsApp is one of those apps that will take over every damn thing. So,
oh really?
yeah, it's a Microsoft thing. They don't like to play with others.
Well, yeah, I got to figure out how to put it into the sound system so that it doesn't dominate like that. What do you got coming up?
Oh, just the normal stuff. I don't know if I got any crazy news stories today or not. Owning a dog is bad for the climate per Democrats. There is that. Let's see.
Where'd that come out? I missed that one.
It's an AP story.
I got to share that in watching Wokies.
There you go. But other than that, any of those things I sent you interesting?
I just talked about the one.
Which one?
Let me pull yours back up here. What did you just send me?
The one I just sent. Let me see.
The
That's about a Secret Service agent.
Yeah. I just read that one. I'm going to do a story about the Trump cult, and I had been saying that Democrats are not going to come for your guns, and so that you sent me this Trump DC's crackdown, and this guy suggesting that gun owners are next. 100%.
Could be, but I don't think so. But I do agree with him saying that there's a reason they're not suing. I do agree with that statement. So
I didn't read that article yet. So what do you mean?
Well, no, that's in the YouTube guy. He does talk about they're coming next, but he does talk about why they're not suing, because it's going to be good for them in the midterms. Crime is going to be reduced statistically, so it's going to be good for them in the midterm, and they don't have to claim Trump did it. They can say, "Look, our cities are safe." So I agree with that, and that's because they're politics. One hand feeds the other. So, but watch that video. That he's got some good points in. Some other points that are not so good, but I actually kind of agree with a lot of things he says. He's not too far out there like a lot of the Trump people. So, or prepper people, not just Trump people, prepper people.
Is this guy a prepper?
No, he's an author. He writes about guns and stuff. That's his niche. He's a gun guy. He knows all about different types of weapons and stuff. He's an author. I don't know if he's an attorney. I don't think so, but he is pro Second Amendment and he does a lot of stuff on it. But he's actually, like I said, out of all of them I watch, he's the least crazy. And trust me, there are some that I had a guy yesterday I would love to have punched in the throat. Jesus Christ. So some of these guys are, you say that we're all MAGA and all this. No, some of these guys go to extreme. And I mean, they go like way the hell out there. So
no argument there.
You can't lump us all in one box, Ross. That's what pisses me off when you do that. So, I may support a lot of things the Republicans do, but I may support things Democrats do. So
I'm going to put something over my screen right now. I want you to see this.
Is it a nude selfie?
But that's the new lettering starting season 5.
I like it.
For up the middle.
I like it.
More edgy, a little less. We had this, you see the show number 250813 and Monday through Friday. We used that font up to for seasons 1 through 4. And it was purple because purple is the color you get when you mix red and blue. And that, is what we are up the middle. I'm now using black and white because with regards to Trump, that's what it is. It's not political ideology with this guy anymore. He just put the military into one of the cities with the lowest crime in the country.
That stat is skewed.
And that's possible?
It's highly possible. The Internal Affairs is investigating DC police commanders for skewing the facts for mayors. Research it. There's articles out there about it. I have already.
I'll look at that. Sure. But my point being, those skewed facts, the difference in classifications of these crimes have been done nationwide. And still, DC doesn't rank.
Oh, they did just have their 100th murder the other night. So
he's not sending any military people to the top 20 cities.
Well,
Most of them happen to be in red states and cities.
He can't by law.
DC either. He did it to L.A.
Well, now he did it to L.A. because of the potential for riots. So that he was allowed to do.
It still has to. No, it can't. He still has to mobilize the National Guard with the permission of and cooperation with the governor, who said no.
Yeah, okay,
that's the law.
That governor's a wacko, but okay.
It doesn't matter. So is Trump.
Well, I'm not arguing that either, but you have people throwing rocks and bricks at police officers doing their jobs. And
okay, so there was another thing about that. I know, yes, that has happened. That happened. Los Angeles County has over 4,000 square miles.
Yes.
That part of the riot, or actually that part of the demonstrations, the protests, were in part of the downtown, which constitutes less than 6 square miles.
Okay. So
that's
what's your point?
I know that live there.
Take over that 6 miles militarily? Is that your point? What's your point?
No, my point is everybody thinks that the entire city of Los Angeles was up in flames, like back in the Rodney King riots.
Well, that's if they don't do any homework and realize that that's what, the second largest county in the United States, or is it the first? I can't remember. I think it's the second.
It's the largest county in the world.
Okay, I don't know about world, but all right.
Yeah,
my chat's getting frisky. I gotta go. Hold on, there. Whoa,
let me turn over the radio to you, and you can go because I gotta go too. The dogs have been busting ass. I started busting ass. Apparently, it's contagious. Whoa. We've all got to go for a walk.
The only tip I got on this up the middle is get the exclamation off your hair. That annoys me for some reason.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know why, but I've been sitting here looking at it going, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Just turn it a little bit more.
Before too. All right, here's the radio.
All right, man. Yeah, let me have the radio. Oh, and I got to play our tune too. So let me go do that and have a good day, Ross. We'll argue more later, but watch the whole video. So, like I said, some points I agree with, some points I'm like, whatever. But there's a reason these people get views, Ross. There's a reason. And I'm sorry, I keep calling you that, Yergs. So it's a habit.
Yeah.
I know you hate it, but it's
no. It's.
I'm sorry.
I know that there's certain people that you're trying. So thank you. It's our persona. It's still me.
Well, yeah, I still like you. So
there's nothing different off air. I'm still an asshole.
I can concur,
yes.
But at least at least you and I can argue, and then later we can kiss and make up and be friends. So
and I can just hang up on you on Discord.
Yeah, well, that's true. You did take your toys and go away.
Yeah, I was just, you know what? I'm over this. I'm going.
All right, man. I gotta go. They're hitting me up. See you, brother. Much love. We're gonna go live on YouTube.
Sport Cat's up next with Sport Cat's Daily Gazette. You can search Sport Cat shows on YouTube, and I guess YouTube's back up for him today. So Sport Cat shows on YouTube. and Para or Normal Guys. There you go. Search Para or Normal Guys or Sport Cat shows on YouTube. It's Sport Cat's Daily Gazette. He's got the radio stations already, and that's his video. If you want to follow him on YouTube, he's on. I think I can follow him on Facebook also, so you can get him there as well. Oh, Matrix just dumped another one. I got to walk the dog, something fierce. I got to go. More about the Trump cult tomorrow. I'll find that email and do some other research, and we'll put together another good show. Thanks for joining today and getting off the porch and running with the big dogs. See you tomorrow. Have a good day.